Okay, Zeeshan, why here in Bangladesh?
The reason I'm here in Bangladesh is because about 3-4 years ago, when I was first year of uni, Shaykh did a lecture in Queen Mary, where he sort of highlighted, the problems of being Bengali and not necessarily being able to speak Bengali and not really understanding your place as a Bengali person in London. And these sort of questions, I've always put them in the back of my mind. But I think what that lecture done is, it put these thoughts from the back of my mind to the front of my mind. So now I have to actually think about it, because I remember at the end of the talk, I had a very strange feeling. Like, wow, okay. I am getting older, and not being able to speak necessarily, like have deep conversations with my dad, because his first language is Bengali. These things, not being able to speak to my sassis, my sassas. Every time I come Bangladesh, it's only 2-3 weeks, and all we do is just sit and just not really do much, because of course I can't speak. Every time I come Bangladesh, we can't really appreciate things as much, because it's such an uncomfortable experience, it's not really an experience that you should have. It's your parents' land, it's your grandparents' land. That's not really a place where you should feel so uncomfortable. But that was the feelings that I always had when I came. The maximum conversation that I would have in Bengali with someone is and then that's it. There's no more to the conversation. But these are people that I realize I should be having longer conversations with. You can't really create love with someone by just, without communication. Not as deep as a love as you should. So then, this is first year of uni though. What Shaykh advised was quite essential. He said, look, take yourself from London, port yourself in Bangladesh. Get a feel of what it really is. Stay for 2-3 months or even longer. Understand what Bangladesh is. And that was quite essential, because if I even tried to learn Bengali in London, I always came up with excuses. Like I would never try to go to a lesson, or if you randomly trying to start speaking Bengali with my mum, who I only spoke English with my whole life, it just wasn't happening. It was a very strange dilemma. So now I'm here, I put myself in for 3 months. I just finished uni, so it's a good time. I haven't found a job yet. So what that means is I got that time basically. If I was to find a job, taking 3 months out of my life would be quite difficult. The first month was very hard. Very, very hard. Basically, all the conversation I had with everyone is, I'm afro, I'm beshi matam fine. That's the constant thing I had to always say. Then after a month, I remember I had one decent conversation with my daddy. And then from there, basically there's like a confidence that I got. Now I don't feel as much, I got a bit more confidence. I can speak with. Of course, every conversation is still, I have to get my phone out and just, as they say things, I was like, okay. But now people understand that. They're quite happy that I'm trying to learn Bangla, and these sort of things come with it. But yeah, that is how I'm feeling right now.
What did you expect, and how much of the expectation have been met or difference of that?
The expectation was, 3 months is not going to be a lot of time. I'm going to just do as much as I can and come back, and hopefully I've got the basics of my Bengali, so I can now speak with my dad and stuff. That was my expectation, because I thought, okay, 3 months is not a long time, so let me just try. But the reality is strange, because you're asking me this question when I'm in the thick of it. It's not. I can't really answer it that. It's not like a previous experience. But it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. because my dad only came with me for 2 weeks. So basically, after he went, it's kind of like you're alone now. Not really alone because I've got people sort of say my basha throughout the day and things like that. But I'm not a person that can, who's got a lot of confidence even in English. I can't have a conversation with about 10 people at the same time. But when you come to Bangladesh now, that's something that you kind of have to get used to. People they're just sitting around, they kind of just, they want you to say stuff basically. So that part I found very difficult. I'll be honest, I got demotivated a lot. That first month I was very demotivated after it.
Also, you're being honest about it.
Yeah, very, very demotivated. Because I'm trying to balance, I'm trying to learn Bangla, also online business. And I'm trying to memorize Quran as well.
Inshallah.
Those two things took a big hit. Online business, I wasn't doing much because you just kind of feel sorry for yourself. Oh, why am I here? Should I get an early ticket back? You know, these sort of thoughts go through your mind. But I realized there's no point of that. Let me just see it through. And alhamdulillah, things took a turn from there.
I know.
I can see that there's a big difference now from what the Bengali had before.
Definitely. Look at
Things
Bug.
like this, being able to visit, Shaykh Abu Ubayd in his bari. Imagine I didn't have the chance to do that and I went home. How sad. How silly would that have been? I came to Bangladesh and I didn't get to meet Shaykh Abu Ubayd in his bari. And things like that. So alhamdulillah,
You realize the world of Allah is vast.
there you go.
Many different cultures, tribes, nations, ethnicities. Okay, I'll fire with some questions, quick ones. Your favorite dish? Bengali, obviously.
Favorite dish? Simple stuff. Just buzzy. I like the buzzy, denga buzzy.
Bengali.
These sort of simple ones. I
Okay.
don't have
Favorite fruit? Bengali fruit.
fruit. The khola is different, The khola is different. So I'll say that for now.
Okay, the favorite fish?
Favorite fish, Kwalmas. Kwalmas kobe, that for the time being. Until I experience a bit more. I'm keeping it safe. I'm not too Bengali just yet, just like Chef. But I'm still a London.
You have Guafani, you're Bengali now.
Nah, I'm not Bengali just yet.
Your favorite meat?
Favorite meat,
Cow or goat? Or sheep?
Garu.
Guru cow. Yeah, you're Bengali. You're 100% Bengali.
One more thing I had actually.
Any message to the people who was watching?
I'm not sure what age you guys will be, but if you do have, if you are my age or you have kids my age and things like that, this is a real problem. It's hard for someone like me to have a clear vision, a clear goal in life when I don't really understand the parts where I'm from. So trying to understand who I am is basically the first step for me to actually start thinking forward. That's what I realized. When people start, speaking about all these goals I had, I always used to get so confused. How are you so grounded? How can you think so far ahead? That's because they know who they are. And these are the first steps of me trying to understand who I am. And then from there, inshallah,
Inshallah.
the sky is the limit, inshallah. But that's my thoughts. I'm just trying to do step one right now, and then hopefully I can find out my place in this life, what am I supposed to do, and these sort of things. And there's one extra thing I wanted to add. I actually did come to Bangladesh every 3 years, but staying for 3 months, that's different. Because it's not just dawats. It's not just sit in this house, eat their food, and then come back to the basha. This time is, you can actually go to the mosque at Fajr time, in the bari, and appreciate the nature rather than just, we need to go here and at this time we need to go back. It's a lot more, you take more things in compared to just a 2-week trip, if that makes sense. So that's a very big thing. I would advise anyone that has this opportunity to come for a long time, you have to do it. If you've only been coming for 1 or 2 weeks, very big difference.
And I'm here to help anyone who wants to come back home. Bangladesh, I'm here. I'll be here for the long run. Yeah. Thank you, Zeeshan. Inshallah, you'll be inspiration for so many of our youth. I just want to protect you, bless you, and make you accomplish your vision and your mission, and make you the best you can be, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows who you can be. Allahumma amin, Allahumma amin, Allahumma amin. Wassalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.